What's up, you guys? Jaden here with the Moonlight Craftsman channel. On this video, we are going to experiment with a stamp, if you will, for a burger bun. Coming up. So Betty's wants me to make a stamp, if you will, for the buns of the burgers. I guess just to kind of, burn the logo on the top of the bun. I think that's a pretty cool idea. And so what I came up with is with the water jet is I cut this out of 1/4 inch stainless steel, and so that's the B from the Betty's, and that will be placed on the stovetop and placed on the bun. So we're going to experiment with that to see if it even works. But so I just went to Menards and I wanted to get stuff that anybody could get. Besides the bee, I cut that out on the water jet. I cheated there. But I went around looking, and I don't have a lathe here at my shop or anything like that. So I was just kind of looking around and seeing what might make a good handle. And I got this, baluster. And really all I'm interested is in this section right here. I thought that this little section right here would make a pretty good handle. And so what I'm going to do first right now is I'm going to cut it right here, and then I'm going to cut it somewhere down here. I think that this square part might be useful for the drill press for a few operations, so I'm going to leave that. And I still haven't quite figured everything out yet, but we're just going to start. So let's take a look at what I got from Menards, and let's see if we can make this work. So as you can see, I have a smaller end here and a bigger end here. What we're really doing is just making a handle for our bee. And so, I was kind of thinking, does it look better like this with the small end towards the bee and the bigger end down here, or does it look better with the smaller end? And I'm kind of leaning towards the smaller end towards the top, but let's see what we got from Menards. Let's see, those are just number 8 flat washers. 832 1/2 inch button head screws. I figured at the top I could just use a button head screw. Alright, that's it. That's all I got. And I thought, I got this, I think it's 1/4 inch. Yeah. I got a 1/4 inch bolt with a long section of nothing on there. They didn't have any just 1/4 inch rod, or I could have got that. But I figure I could weld this on the bee, use the flat section or the smooth section inside this, and then maybe drill and tap a section of this and use a number 8 screw at the top with a washer. And I thought I'd inset that. I could use a Forstner bit for that. And considering that I got a flat spot here, it'd be easier with the vise to use my Forstner bit right here, drill the 1/4 inch hole, and then do the Forstner bit for the inset for the button head screw. So after careful deliberation, I decided that the best option would be to go with the smaller end at the top and the larger towards the bottom. And I think that'll work out. And then at the bottom of it, I figured could just use these one fender washer and that fender washer would work either way, but I wanted the fender washer to be a little bit smaller than the diameter of the wood here, just so you don't touch it and burn yourself. But that'll keep it up, the handle up elevated off the top of the B. So let's get started. So I put a 1/4 inch drill bit in the drill press here with a vise. I got it chucked up with the, got it cinched down there on the square part of what I left there. And, you know, before you guys put any comments in there about, you know, my drill press is bigger than yours, you know, hey, it's not the size of the drill press that matters, it's how you use it, okay? I got this thing for $75 a few years back, you know, damaged goods or something like that, but, you know, it beats using a hand drill sometimes, So let's go ahead and we're just trying to get this thing done. You know, this isn't a precision part here. So let's get this 1/4 inch hole drilled for a bolt to go through, and we'll move on to the next step. So I drilled the hole a little off center with the 1/4 inch. So I don't know, my drill press ain't working too well today. I wish you could just take a pill for that, but we're going to up this drill bit to 5/16, try and get it a little bit closer to center, and I figure that'll give it a little bit of space for that 1/4 inch rod to go through. Maybe the heat won't transfer to the wood as easy, and we'll end up with a better product. That's what we're going to tell ourselves. So let's try this again. Hey, that looks a lot better. If it looks like it's in the center, then it is in the center for this job. Alright, now I have a 1/2 inch Forstner bit in there. Since I had to go with a bigger hole than 1/4 inch, I wanted to up the washers that I was going to use for the button head at the top. And luckily I did have some number 12s. They are right at 1/2 inch OD, so this will be a tight fit even for this drill press. But I'm going to go down about a 1/4 inch with this Forstner bit. The Forstner bit will give a flat bottom for that to sit on, and it'll keep the metal away from the fingers so they don't get hot. That should be plenty. Now we can go ahead and cut the square section off of our piece. We won't be needing that anymore. Careful for the fingers. We might need those. There we go. Just going to drill this 5/32 fender washer out to a 1/4 inch by hand. There we go. So just going to take and see what we got right now and kind of figure out how long we need this 1/4 inch bolt to be. So that's going to go there. And then our fender washer, that's why we drilled it out to 1/4 inch, so it would be kind of tight. We might actually have to kind of ream it out a little bit. Oh no, it fits on there perfect, but that's what we want, pretty tight. Probably about that far off. And then this will go right here. Well, that won't be 1/4 inch at the top. We'll actually be, I got the number 12 washer in there at the top, and but we're going to put a number 8 screw through there, so maybe we can pop that out. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now that looks about right there. It's the right height, maybe a little bit lower. about right there, I think. Don't want it to tip over on the grill, but if we could keep the wood away from the grill, that would be best. So I think I'll get a measurement actually, if I can find a tape measure. And I'll measure off the top of that B. Got about 3 inches to the top of the wood. We'll subtract a quarter for the recess, plus we want a little bit of a gap, so we'll subtract another 1/8 inch. So we have 3 minus 3/8. That gives us 2 5/8. And right here, we want that to be about 11/16. I'm going to write that down. 2 5/8. So I'm going to cut this bolt down. So I've got the bolt cut down to length. And now I've got a number 21 drill bit in there to prepare for to thread it, to tap it. And so we are doing stainless steel, and it is a small drill bit, so wish me luck. I am going to use a little bit of oil, and we'll see what we can do. Now I'm wanting to go down at least a 1/2 inch. And more like 3/4 would be better. It seems to be centered pretty well. So I think we're good. I squared it up off the vise, you know, that's kind of assuming that the drill press is pretty square, but it's a little bit off center. I can see that, but I don't think it'll matter too much. Well, guys, I messed up. I used a drill bit for a 1032, not a 832. I thought that drill bit looked a little bit big, but I think this will still work. We just got to find a 1032, a 1032 screw after this, but I think we've reached the bottom. Alright, so I was able to find a 1032 screw and cut it down to the right size. I also used a grinder to round up the edges of this bolt just to make it a little bit less industrial looking. But again, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this because we don't really know if it's going to work yet. But now I need to fuse this onto the shaft, the bolt shaft, at 11/16 is what I have marked down. So get a tack there. When I do little tacks like that, I usually just turn it up to about 100 for most thicknesses, thinner thicknesses, and just do a quick on off with the pedal, and that kind of gets you a quick little tack. Sometimes if you don't have it turned up enough, the amps enough, and you try and do that, the metal moves away from each other and you don't get a tack. So it may be kind of a little counterintuitive, but for the tacks, turn the heat up and do a quick foot pedal or whatever mechanism you have. Quick on off. Okay, so we have that there. Now we're just going to fuse that. So I'm going to turn the heat down. Pretty low, probably. That's a pretty thin washer. So I'm going to turn it down to 40 amps. I'm not going to use any rod. I'm just going to focus my heat more towards the shaft of the bolt and go around it. Alrighty. So we fused all the way around there. Our washer's a little warped, but that's fine. Now let's check our measurements one more time. It's going to go like this. Yeah, it's a little bit short of the recess that we did. So that's going to be perfect there. So now we need to weld it onto the top of the B. And we'll try and do this just kind of the center of mass. And then I'm going to want to fuse all the way around this because I don't want any crevices or anything, because this is going to be used for food. And so you want it all sealed up. Alright. There are no cracks or crevices for food to get in there or bacteria. Our rod looks fairly straight. We'll check our length one more time. That there. Yep, we're looking good. I think we could bump our rod a little bit this way. And I think that'll be pretty good. Okay, we'll take a wire wheel to it. We'll clean off the oil with mineral spirits, and then we'll take it in the house and wash it with soap and water, and we'll try it out. Alright, I got it all cleaned up. I got it put back together. Everything fits pretty good. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I think it looks pretty cool. But the stainless is starting to change colors a little bit, so I think it's pretty hot now. So we're going to try it out. And in reality, I can feel the heat coming up here with the pan, but so that the oak is honestly still pretty hot. I'm actually going to use a glove. Wow. Hey. It worked. I mean, looks pretty cool. I mean, maybe they'll like it. Hey, I appreciate you guys watching the video till the end, guys. Hey, if you thought this was kind of cool, share it with a friend. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.